Good afternoon, everybody. Pedro and I will be with you shortly. Oh, wait, it's just me today? Check, baby, check, baby, check. 1, 2. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another commercial on this awful YouTube channel I have over here. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another epic show here on DYOR Media. It is October. Nope. It's September. Nope. It's August. Nope. Yes, I use this joke a lot. It's November 13th, 2025. The year is ripping by here, ladies and gentlemen. Ripping by here, and the BTC price is not ripping. U.S. government opens, everyone's like, woo, market's gonna pump, market's gonna pump. Market dumped for the usual reasons. The market knew that the U.S. government was gonna open. It built it into the pricing. Sold the news. Sold the news. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Other things in the news, stable coins growing faster than planned. JP Morgan has been talking about how they are going to be increasing the adoption of stable coins amongst their various branches and amongst their various groups because, there's the price going down again, because more people are starting to use stable coins than they predicted. Also, for those of you that are Hyperliquid fans, you got played. Yeah, that's right, you got played, ladies and gentlemen. A trader figured out how to manipulate the system in the order book by placing big buy orders up really high, brought the price up, canceled the orders, price dropped. He took advantage of that, made millions. That shows what liquidity means to markets. And Hyperliquid, that was just proven that without limits, Hyperliquid is very, very susceptible to whales manipulating the market. Well, this is interesting here. You're getting all the price going down here. I got the BTC chart here right behind me, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, today is a down day. I did not think this was going to happen today. I thought it was going to happen, start happening next week. I thought today that we would have a little bit of run up from the U.S. government shutdown news. Or U.S. government reopening news, but didn't get it. Anyway, let's change the music here. Yeah, going. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for watching. Everyone, got a couple of people starting to watch here, the beginning of the show. Let's get the shares up. Let's get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's at least get the likes up to the views. 10 viewers. Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome crypto unicorns. I still got the... yes, I never managed to turn that off in time. Welcome, Crypto Unicorns. Crypto Unicorns has discovered the new emotes that I have built up. If you go to send a message here in the emoji section, there's a couple of new ones there. Here, I put a couple up here. That's the DYOR girl, newscaster girl that was made for us by AI Wolf, Walter the AI Wolf. Connect Me One found them and put the BTC girls. They don't turn out that well on this theme that I have here. I might have to change that, or at least look at trying to changing the size. But we got the various BTC girls that you see in my thumbnails and all that. Another ad over here? My God, what the hell is going on here? Yes, trying to get the algorithm to on YouTube to do things better for us. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. Once again, my name is Tom. This is an interactive show. DYOR Live is interactive. That means that we would like you to interact with us. And I am looking for our X viewers. We're broadcasting on X and Twitch. Don't get a big following over there. People on X are super fickle. And with most people watching on their phones now, instead of desktops, it's very difficult. You know what? I wonder. Oh, bit rate is still good. Can we up that a little bit? All right, what's the theme of the show today, ladies and gentlemen? The theme of the show: U.S. government opens free money for everybody, free money for all. Doesn't everyone want free money? Yes. You know how you're going to get it? From the U.S. government turning on the money printing machine. Brrr. I think we talked about this the other day here. I wonder if I still have that. On here. Yes, this one. Free money, free BTC, free debt. It's been a common theme. Here we have Donald Trump turning on the money printer because that's what's going on here. That is what's going on. The money printer. You know what? I'm just going to run. I got to run the... Let's switch over to the charts here. We got to bring the $100,000 girl in here. It's going to launch it right now. 10,000, 100,000 coming soon. Is 95,000 coming? Well, we'll see. We'll just leave this up for right now. Let it run. We'll rerun the TradeWave app over there. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, Pedro and I are bringing out what's called the TradeWave app to track our trades that we talk about here. And not only that, but add a little bit of excitement to your everyday crypto life. We're going to be, well, we already started putting in the trades that we talk about here. Pedro brings up a certain crypto or a commodity like gold, crude oil, or something like that, and says, I want to buy it at this level and sell it at this level, and this is the reasons why. We put it in this app, and then you can have access to it. So in case you don't watch our show all the time and write down everything Pedro and I say, you too can keep track of everything. It's in beta right now, be coming out soon. As you can see up there, it has the home section, which is just the lists of things. There'll be all the usual things. Right now, it's just the list of the top 20 cryptocurrencies. But we're going to be putting, top memes, top regular cryptos, top commodities, gold, crude, all the types, and top tech stocks, all the things that people day trade. And then the other tab up there is the trades. It lists all the trades that Pedro and I have programmed from. And there's a video section, lists videos, which will not just a link to these shows, because you're already watching these shows, but a link to reasons why, like Pedro or I might screenshot why we talk about a certain trade. And then the chat section, because everyone wants to talk smack to each other while trading, and so we're going to have a chat section just for that. Had the chat section all running fine. And then the new versions of Chromium came out, which subtly tweaked the cross-script browser, cross-script something. And because the app runs on a different domain, then never mind. Then the chat, it's just a disaster. It's just a disaster. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on with BTC here for a few minutes. As you can see, not good. Not good if you're a long-term, if you're a short-term holder of the spot market. If you're a long-term holder of the spot market, this week nobody even cares about, unless you bought at 120 or something like that and you mortgaged your house. Pay for it, then you have a problem. But as you can see here with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is continuing its trend down. We're trading far down below the weekly open and the monthly open, which I feel is odd. Very odd indeed. I thought that we were going to be, according to this chart here, remember I'm new at this too. This chart is the daily chart of Bitcoin, and the arrows are each of the 4 weeks here and what we thought it was going to do. First week down, yep, got that right. Lots of support in here at the end of last week. We thought that would drive the market up. It did temporarily. And then these past 2 days, market has come down a lot. Thought with the government shutdown ending, we would see an uptrend. Here, the uptrend was the anticipation of the government shutdown coming, and the old buy the rumor, and then the government opens and sell the news, and the market drops off. Didn't think it would be this strong. We have some pretty big supply candles here. The price is below. This is the daily chart. The past couple of days, big supply wicks here. Price action's below all the moving averages. What does that tell you? Generally, that it's going to mean it's going to be moving down. If you want a full top-down analysis, starting from the monthly all the way down to the 5-minute chart, head over to Crypto Lifer's show. Search Crypto Lifer Sam Price on YouTube, and he did a morning. He was early today, like 8 to 10 a.m. He's on his way to Portugal. He did a full top-down analysis, as he does every day, of it. I do not do that because I am not good at that. But we do talk about it, but I will not talk about it with authority. All right, so Bitcoin's going down today. It's still early in the day, still noontime in the New York session. London's just closing, so some of the liquidity is coming out of the market now. That'll give with probably London selling off their positions here, as they kind of do at this time of day. That'll give New York a little chance for some buyers to help turn this around. As you can see here, we have a pretty good floor here in the past few days. I shouldn't say floor. That requires a little bit more analysis, but a lot of demand wicks down here. And Pedro always says, well, the demand wicks show that there's people that want to buy in this area. And we have the seller wicks coming down right here into this area. So right about here, we're seeing a nice confluence of events here. And I'm sure there's some technical terms for that. But this is, in other words, this is a big area to watch through. If the price drops down below these, we have 95,000, as the over on the girl says, will be sooner rather than later. And if it holds back up, it'll wait till next week. We're really counting on next week having the big down to 95,000 or potentially even lower, clearing out the liquidity and then going back up. That's kind of the thought process on it. We've been generally sort of right most of the weeks here. sort of right. Like I say, I'm doing these month-long outlooks because I've been learning to look at larger time frames as I trade. I've been so focused on my bread and butter is the Sam Price special, the 1 minute 200 period moving average, and how that and its 8 and 21 period moving average cross price action has been a good trade for me. But that's get me focused on that 1 minute chart and gets me focused on staring at the charts because I got to watch the trade. When really I need to have some trades open that are just longer term trades following the trends of the market. And I'm not good at that yet. El no goodo, as they say. Let's see here. Let's check. Do a little quick social media check here. Let's see. Anyone watching on the Facebooker? Like I say, every once in a while, the Facebooker, yeah, just one person, drop some comments. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this interactive show here today. If you could be so kind, drop a comment or two. Also, if you could be so kind, drop the link to the show in a trading group that you follow. If you chat with your buddies in a trading group, say, hey, watch these guys on DYOR Live. Pedro is out today. He's out all week. Usually it's Pedro and I. We talk about crypto, digital assets, day trading markets, tech companies, all that type of stuff. U.S. oil, gold, silver. We even talk about foreign currency sometimes. The euro, the pound, the yen, all that type of stuff. Pedro brings up the Chinese yuan all the time because he's convinced that they're manipulating the market. No, I can't believe it. Can't believe that to be true. Anyway, drop a comment in there, bring some more viewers in, especially in Rumble here. It really helps us out. We are Rumble creators, like an actual, not just a monetized channel, but in the Rumble creator program where we have a partnership with them. We also have to broadcast 5 hours, not 1, not 2, not 4, not 6, but 5 hours of premium content a month. We're going to do more of that this month. And that's open to Rumble premium members. Of which, if you join via the link down below, to join Rumble Premium, Pedro and I do get a cut of that, which helps us out. All right, let's get to the big non-event of the day. The big non-event of the day. Let's see. Nope. Uh-oh. Yes, that's the price of Bitcoin dropping further. We're just getting ready to break under 100,000. Let's watch this price action for a minute. Oh, it's a 5-minute chart. Let's get the 1-minute chart on. Nothing good coming from the 1-minute chart here. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Anyway, and welcome to those of you watching on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Why don't you drop a comment or two here? Rumble is our main channel along with Amazon Fire. Believe it or not, we get people watching on Amazon Fire. Yeah, who knew? Bitcoin still dropping here. Still better update TradeWave here. I gotta switch it to a webhook so it updates live. I don't know how many of you were watching yesterday, or not yesterday, but on the 11th. It was Remembrance Day here in Canada, and I live right near Parliament Hill, and they had the howitzers going for the Remembrance Day celebration. They're doing the 21 gun salute, pulling the string on that, or hitting the button, however they're launched. And it's really loud. They're just firing blanks, but it's really loud. It's right over here. And at the same time, the thunder from Fiat Leak was going off, showing that Bitcoin was dumping on us. And so I had the thunder coming in from the headphones from the show. I had the thunder coming in from the howitzers outside. I mean, how often do you sit around here and say, oh, there's some howitzers launching, and you're not in a war zone? How often? Well, I see you YouTubers were fickle. And you always seem to be that way. Anyway, let's see who else is with us today. Slow day here on the show. Very slow day. Strange. All right, well, just waiting for the viewership to get up so we can watch some Rumble ads. Anyway, BTC still dropping. Oh. We're about to break 100,000, and we've broken 100,000 now. Down to 100K here. 99,889. You know, when I don't know if you can see, I've got these. My studio monitor is these bone conducting things. It's not even, there's nothing in my ear. Just touches the bone here and vibrates it. It's really cool. It does have a little speaker to add bass to it, and you can turn that on and off. This vibrating your bone doesn't add a lot of bass. So I have that on, and I'll walk around the apartment, and Bitcoin will be in its normal thing. And that sound, that thunder goes off anytime Bitcoin's price goes above or below its 24-hour high or low. And so I'll just be like walking around, especially in the evening, having a cocktail, I'll be like, and the sound, because it vibrates your bone, not your eardrum. It vibrates your bone, which goes to your eardrum. It sounds like it's in your head, not just, you know, this. It just sounds differently. I mean, you can't place the sound as well as you can. And so it feels like it's inside your head. It's the most amazing thing. And then just all of a sudden having it ruptured. All right, we're hitting. No, we can't have ads every 10 seconds on this thing. Officially down here, 99,987. Price is tanking, ladies and gentlemen. Sooner than planned, but it was planned. Whew, it's brutal. Let's take a look at all the cryptos here. Gotta be carnage. Okay, now we're underwater in our Ethereum trade. We're long at 3,300 on Ethereum. Price of Ethereum is 3,200. Since we're officially under, let's take off that one and put this one up. 95,000 coming soon. Get the 95,000 alert on. XRP bucking the trend today. XRP is up. Very strange that XRP would be up. BNB down. We're also long on BNB. I was reviewing the BNB chart the past couple of days, and said that we would be out of our BNB trade fairly soon. Not going to let it get down to the stop level because it wasn't looking so good on the 4-hour for that. Solana down 4%. Tron going along with the rest of the market. Finally, Dogecoin down 1.2%. Cardano down to 53 cents, down 3%. What the hell is a white Bitcoin? Got to figure out a way to filter out these wrapped versions of tokens. Take up too much space on the top 20. Bitcoin Cash bucking the trend. Bitcoin Cash is up while Bitcoin is down. Very interesting. Very interesting. Hyperliquid down to... let's take a look at Hyperliquid here real quick because there's a story about Hyperliquid, which we might as well cover right now. Hyperliquid. Let's go find the story. Trader torches $3 million to punch a $5 million hole in Hyperliquid's vault. Only in crypto do villains torch millions purely for the sake of the plot. Well, one of the things we talk about a long time, or over and over here again on the show here, is liquidity in markets. And with liquidity is low, bad things happen in trading. Smaller market makers can manipulate the markets. Larger whales can manipulate the markets. You don't get, if you buy, anything, things larger than $5 trades, if you buy a couple $1,000s, you get worse pricing because there's not as much money in the market, not as many buyers, not as many sellers. And this is happening with Hyperliquid now because people can put millions and millions of dollars into it. The larger whales can figure out how to manipulate the market. And this example here proves how much Pedro and I, when we talk about liquidity in markets, we talk about liquidity in markets and we talk about price moving to where the liquidity is. This is a great example of it. A community member called, I already read that part. Here, let's turn away 95,000 sign. A coordinated attack on Hyperliquid wiped out nearly 5 million from the protocol's hyperliquidity vault when an unknown trader burned through $3 million in capital to manipulate the Popcat market and trigger cascading liquidations. Essentially what they did is they found out the person withdrew, you got to have a lot of money to start with, withdrew $3 million from the OKX exchange, put it into 19 fresh wallets, moved the assets over to Hyperliquid to open up $26 million in leveraged longs tied to Hype platform's Popcat denominated perpetual contract. After this, the trader built a $20 million buy wall near the 21 cent price point. Essentially, if you look at Bookmap, it shows, let's see, you know what, I have Popcat up here. Let's look at Popcat. Oh yeah, you can see here, over in the chart here, you can see this top chart is the last 7 days for Popcat, and you can see the manipulation, how it brought the price way up, and then they tanked it down a lot. So what we did is we put a whole bunch of buy orders at 21 cents. Essentially creating, as it says here, an artificial signal of strength that pushed the market upwards before the orders were canceled at the last minute. When the wall collapsed, liquidity thinned as price support vanished. So what it says here is that dozens of these higher leverages forced into liquidation. The vault showed a $4.9 million loss in the aftermath, one of the largest single event hits incurred by the platform. So essentially, when Pedro and I talk about these liquidity levels and that the price is going to be there, what Pedro does is goes and hunts for those areas where all those orders are, like this guy put at 21 cents. And you can do that a couple of ways. You can look at the historical action of where orders came and went on the chart, and try and figure out where that level is, where they hadn't been cleared out, and hope that they're still there. You can also look at Bookmap and other liquidity maps, and it shows you for many exchanges where the orders are. I don't know if Hyperliquid reports their open orders publicly, but exchanges in the U.S. have to do that, that are governed by the CFTC. So if there's a lot of orders on Hyperliquid at a certain area, people on Hyperliquid will see that and then put orders on Chicago Mercantile Exchange and Arbitrage and yada yada yada. And so that then Pedro and I say, with all those orders there, price is going to start going up there. So what happened is people saw those orders way up at 21 cents. And the price was at 11 cents and said, okay, we're going to go long because eventually the price is going to go up and hit that. So they went long all the way up here. And just before it got to 21 cents, this guy canceled all his orders and went short. And all these people that were long, there was no more momentum getting it up there. So the price collapsed and those longs got wiped out. And the guy made out with millions of dollars. Let's see what he actually got. What does this chart say? I mean, this is how you make money, right? You start out with a lot of money, manipulate the market, and get even more money. Each one of these wallets made $1.5 million. I mean, it's crazy. While the attacker caused damage to Hyperliquid, the event revealed that the market manipulator's own $3 million capital was completely wiped out. This suggested that the attacker's goal was structural damage rather than profit. No, that doesn't make sense. His other wallets made money. Yeah, what this article is missing is that the trader had larger positions in shorts, possibly on other exchanges too. But goes to show you need to have liquidity in the markets to truly trade them properly. To truly trade them properly. Crypto Unicorn, thanks for joining us. It says the diehards are here. Connect me one. Diehard as always. We're looking for Dara. Looking for Chuck Jansen. Looking for Mr. Pixel. Looking for all the usuals. The uses. Where are you? Some other good things in the news. Here's the article. Wow. We're still going down. JP Morgan officially rolls out their JPM coin deposit token on Base. Why this is important? Because it allows the bridging between JP Morgan's internal structure and the Base chain. Meaning that if you have assets in JP Morgan, probably not in checking accounts at this point, but if you're an institutional trader and things like that, it means that you can quickly move money from your account onto assets in Base, stable coins, other Coinbase assets. Ooh, this is really moving again. So it's a big thing. It's a big thing, bridging that another easy way to get institutional money into the blockchain environment. It's much bigger news than they play it out for here. Let's look at the price here. What's going on? It's like fiat leak is always about 2 minutes behind. Two minutes behind. But I heard something in my ear there. Trading 99 and 909 right now. Let's go back to BTC. Spot market at 99,816 right now, according to CoinGecko. Anyway, back to the JP Morgan thing. This article links to what I was talking about at the beginning of the show about stable coins growing faster than planned. JP Morgan also talked about how with the growth of stable coins, they need to be able to move that money around internally and move it between the internal JP Morgan assets and external blockchains and accounts. And so they are expanding their usage of stable coins as well. You're going to see the value of USDC and Circle go crazy. In fact, Kathy Wood and ARK are investing big time in Circle. So we're going to start tracking Circle's. What is Circle's stock price? Circle Internet Group, $86. Over the past year, it's been as low as... No, the bottom chart here is not correct. The bottom chart is still pulling Bitcoin up. But even in the past day, 24-hour high is 88, 24-hour low is 83. $33 million in volume just on the exchange that I pull this information from. Anyway, so you're going to see, I would be willing to bet you see somebody like JP Morgan or another bank just buy a majority of the shares that they can in Circle. I don't know how many shares are outstanding of Circle that are publicly held, so I don't know if they could buy them, but they could buy 40% very easily. Very easily. One thing we also haven't talked about is really much as Zcash. Oops. Zcash, back down to 476. Zcash has been the darling of the markets lately, just coming out of nowhere. I mean, it was trading at under $40 the whole year, under $50 the whole year. And then in the past kind of month, it exploded. It peaked. It went up to $61. I remember saying, "Ooh, good time to sell." Went up to 800. Yeah, went up to $800. Something crazy. Can't even get it here on my chart. Now it's come back to 400. Anyway, the Zcash founder has just been out there, just like Pedro and I have been talking about. The world is demanding more privacy. They're tired of having every company and government hoover up their information, and not just that it's bad for the government to vacuum up your information, but they use it. They use it, and they have partnerships with private companies, and your public data, your private data, no matter what happens, eventually gets out. They say, oh, they anonymize it. You've signed terms and conditions to say I've anonymized the info, yet there's firms out there that unanonymize you very easily because everyone's patterns on the internet are different. Anyways, the same guy, Eli Ben Sasson, founded both Zcash and Starknet, which has been a disaster. As soon as they launched, the VC started unloading that. Big disaster that one was. But Zcash has done the opposite. And here he is on this podcast, the Big Brain podcast, hosted by the Block's president, Larry Cermak, talking about market tanking. Talks about ensuring the integrity of privacy payments and decentralized blockchain, highlighting the role of ZK proofs, that's zero knowledge proofs, and validating computations without compromising sensitive information. And he talks about one of the reasons I talk about this podcast is that he talks about Monero versus Zcash. Monero has a big following, cult-like, to the point where they're just like, other people are no good. However, Monero is coming out with an update to solve a couple of the problems that they had and to make it even more. I couldn't possibly tell you the details of that. But they are coming up with an update that will make it even more private, which is good. So anyway, this is the world is demanding more privacy. Pedro and I talk about that all the time. All the time we talk about it. I think I bring it up at least once a week, mostly for the reason that when blockchains were created and you had your wallet address, it essentially was private. But even when we were just degenning in local or in small tokens, you kind of were able to start figuring out whose wallet was what based on when people posted that they bought, or if someone said, "Oh, I just bought, 10,000, a few $1,000s worth," you'd go look through the transactions, you'd find out, you could see who it is, and you could do that as basically with just using the various explorers. Imagine throwing AI into that, and or a company like Palantir's AI or something like, then you can quickly just figure everything out pretty quickly. And that's why we need privacy tokens. Monero's, we've seen Monero's price increase dramatically. Here, I'm bringing up Monero and the great graphics machine now. $373, still up, staying up towards its highs. Bitcoin imploding, you hear it in the background there. Just all day, ever since the markets opened here today, they tricked you out. Look, I've got Bitcoin here as a classic move here, and just knowing that the market makers were going to use this as a sell-off day. They pumped it right after the 9:30 open right here, and said, U.S. government is open. Look, we're gonna really raise the markets up. It's great. Woohoo! Yeah, it was a trick, selling the news off. They even gave you a little hope here, right here, and then they pulled the rug out from under you, and they've been selling off Bitcoin all the way down. In fact, the chart runs off the bottom. The price action runs off the bottom of the chart. 99. Oh, this is so interesting. $99.6 here. Let's put the 95,000 incoming back up here and the pricing back on. So we're still watching Bitcoin coming down. I was talking about privacy tokens there. Pedro and I talk about those every week. They're going to be more popular. Privacy though. I am anticipating a privacy token that is a layer 2 above Bitcoin that settles to Bitcoin at some point, probably through a company like Strategy or something like that, to stay on their Bitcoin focused settlement thing, because people, like I said, people just don't want all of their information out there for everybody to figure out, especially when you go to a coffee shop and say you want to go to a coffee shop and pay them with a little USDC. And you just tap your phone, boop, you've paid with USDC. Those two wallets, yours and theirs, are now open on the blockchain for you to see and everyone else to see how much money is in your account and how much money is in the coffee shop's account. So you need obfuscation. So you either have to take extra steps to move money into an exchange or a main account, and that wallet just has a little bit of in and out all the time. And so does the vendor. They need to constantly move the money out, and then people see how much they sold in one day. So it needs to switch to eventually a privacy-oriented thing where you don't see those totals. You don't see all the transactions linked to a wallet. Computationally and cryptographically, the blockchain sees it and figures it out and says it's secure. But you and I can't put our eyeballs on that. Dara, all the way from Spain, is in the house. Thank you, Dara, for joining us. Really appreciate it. Watching Bitcoin implode here today. It's just me. Pedro is out today, as he is all week today, and I couldn't drum up Chris to come back on the show today. So you just got me for a little bit here, probably another 20 minutes or so. Watching the Bitcoin market implode and talking about the news of the day. the news of the day, as I've been reporting, it was essentially the U.S. government opening in the market going, ah. Yep, okay, well, let's just sell off. The market built in, like they started talking about a deal being done on Thursday and Friday. So you saw the market go up on Thursday and Friday of last week, and kind of hang out over the weekend. And then this week it started saying, oh, okay, we're starting to sell the news. Holiday yesterday for some people, or not yesterday, on Tuesday. Holiday for some people, not everybody. Liquidity is coming out of the market. And then today, the market, last night they come to the deal, and it's a sell the news thing. Sell the news, market makers sending the market down. But we'll see. It has to, like I said, our plan is not totally shot yet. It's not totally shot. It's getting close to being totally shot. It's getting close. Like I said, next week we plan the big sell-off. It's already getting there pretty quickly here. But this week was supposed to be an up week. And if this doesn't play out, this doesn't turn around today or tomorrow and at least start somewhat of a... It's got to stay above these closes here. It's got to have a closing above there to have some really proper consolidation to allow it to dump next week, according to plan. So the final week in November, it can take off according to the plan. I'm going to have to re-look at the month to see if that's even possible. Anyway, DeFi dude, if there's anything you want to chat about, just let me know. And not some arcane European financial transaction vehicle of some sort. So we were talking about, we covered Zcash and why the world is demanding more privacy. But one of the things I always like to bring up is when law enforcement does its job and comes through. The UK, we'll just say a large Chinese woman. This is the best story. We'll just call her Mrs. Jimin. Sentenced to 11 years in prison in a London court because she was caught. She scammed a whole bunch of Chinese and Asian investors out of a lot of Bitcoin. Nearly 600 million pounds. She defrauded 128,000 people through various Ponzi schemes and other investments. And converted 20 million of that into Bitcoin. Also scammed some people out of Bitcoin. That haul is now worth $6 billion. And she had trouble converting it because of Know Your Customer was converting it into cash. She should have just sold the Bitcoin to Michael Saylor or other peer-to-peer markets. Just unloaded it cheap. Should have done that. Didn't. Anyway, she got arrested. And here she is on the run as an international swindler and scammer, and she tried to go to get to New York City. She was in Europe, traveling around, spending her money, staying in hotels and all this type of stuff, living the great life in Europe. Said, "Oh, let's go do this in the U.S." Well, I think she forgot the state of surveillance of the world, and they know when you cross borders, what happens. Not internal borders in the EU, but from the European Union to the U.S., they got you figured out. She was arrested swiftly in New York and got her $6 billion in Bitcoin confiscated. Darn shame. Darn shame. It's time for a comment here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, everybody. Please like, subscribe, follow, repost. That's it too. Join. Whatever. Just do it. Let's see if the great comment machine can post it everywhere. Yes, it did. It even got it over to X. To all you people watching us on X, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Let's give the system here a little All right, not so many of you watching on X, but we're up to 13 here on Rumble, growing throughout the show, which means that I am going to take this opportunity. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. What is the Power Life? Vita Bella Health. What is that? Well, there's some really sketchy things here on the advertising thing. All right, we're going to do the Power Life, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, every once in a while, we got to make a little monies here on the old network. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Brooke Burke, who is a fixture in the entertainment and wellness industries for decades, known for her roles with Dancing with the Stars, Wild On, and Wild On is not one to shy away from the spotlight. But shortly after she turned 50, despite her expertise, the fitness icon suddenly found herself battling a body that seemed to be working against her. Now Brooke is opening up publicly about her experience because it's one of millions. Boy, the guys wrote this badly. About her experience because it's won millions of women's face. Unexplained weight gain, muscle loss, and declining energy. And she's revealing how she discovered one thing that made her leaner and stronger and healthier than ever. She says that at 53 years old, she feels amazing and her abs are tighter today than they were 10 years ago. How about that? What changed for her was she began biohacking and discovered that she needed more protein. But not just any protein, one specific protein, which was a total game changer. And when she found it, she said it was like uncovering a secret weapon for weight management and muscle gain. Everything changed. I'm leaner and stronger than I've been my whole life, says Brooke. She's sharing this with the world to both women and men so they all can learn about this revolutionary protein. Click the link in the chat or scan the QR code on the screen to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on your big screen TV, hold your cell phone up there and pop that QR code. Put your eyeballs on our sponsors. They would really appreciate it. If you're watching this on the replay, ladies and gentlemen, there's a description in the comment section. And thank you for watching. And thank you to Power Life on the QR code over here for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. All right, everybody, while I was reading the ad, you heard Bitcoin tanking even further. 1 second, everybody. You heard Bitcoin tanking even further. Hold on, just checking on the dog there. And now we are let's re-rack the price here for Bitcoin. Ooh, it's exploding in my ear. Down below 99.2. We're gonna hit 98 soon. Let's get back to. You can already see the headlines: record liquidations, record losses. Woe is us. All right, now we've got the 95,000 coming in soon. Boy, this chart just looks terrible. It's gonna have to do. The only way I see this recovering today is to do the big drop to like the big wick to 97,000, and then start back up for a recovery before a larger drop. Not looking good here at all for your spot market Bitcoin. For those of you who got the big short on right now, making the monies. Making the monies. You can see the chart here. This is the 1 minute chart just rolling over. Let's go back and look at the couple of different charts here. Let's try to make this interesting. This is the 1 hour chart as I have broken it down for the week. We are just about to break the lows of the month. The low of the month would be right here. At 90, well, we have broken the low of the month. Move that down here. No, but we're awful close. One of the steepest drops I've seen in the past couple of weeks in the shortest amount of time. But it looks like it's going to go for the, just a couple of days ago, you saw the same move here on the 4th of November, on Tuesday of last week. Same thing, big drop, big drop, big drop. Change of structure here. You had the swing low, and then it came back up for a nice ride back up. Probably going to happen here at some point. Same thing. I'm not looking for the move to 95 or even lower yet. Still think it's going to happen. Every time I recenter the chart, I got to move it down. You can see the volume coming up here. The sellers outweigh the buyers dramatically here. Right? I've never actually heard that thing go off so much. Anyway, for those of you watching out there, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. I see a number of you watching on Rumble. If you haven't watched us before, Pedro Garcia and I, Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst, and me, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking. We do a daily talk show here on DYOR Media. This one's called DYOR Live. It's our daily talk show that's live, not recorded like some of the other fake live shows. We interact with our crowd every day, take questions, talk about the markets, what's going on. Pedro does, he's a professional day trader. That's how he makes his living, and he does technical analysis on pretty much everything that people bring up. I do most of the color commentary and have been learning, because I'm moving down the road of becoming a professional trader, but I'm still falling into that early newbie kind of area, even though I started doing this in the 1980s, when most of you were not even around yet, never mind in diapers. Took 27 years off, 28 years off to run manufacturing businesses, and then after that strange plague that happened a few years ago, took down my business. I got into the crypto again, and I started doing this show. And then I listened to Pedro in my ear for 2 years, and I wasn't making any money during that time in trading. And I was like, wait, why am I not listening to Pedro? Actually listening to him and trading. So I've started doing that, and that's why now on this show, when Pedro's out, I can talk a little bit about the charts. Not authoritatively by any means. And I just say when Pedro's not here, if you're looking for a full analysis of it, head over to Crypto Lifers channel, and you can see his top-down analysis in his daily 2-hour show that he does from 10 to 12. And that's why we're on after him, because most of the people are watching his show. Anyway, but like I said, we're an interactive show. Drop a comment or two. I would really appreciate it. Put the note out there. Welcome, everyone. Please comment, like, subscribe, follow, repost, join. Just do it. That's for those of you watching on Twitch. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Twitch is not a big platform for us, but we do get a couple of people watching us. Most of the crypto people that used to watch on Twitch have moved over to Rumble, just because the crowd, the time of day, is better. This chart behind me is really something else. Let's go back to it. Let's look at the overall market here. The S&P 500 only down 100. NASDAQ's down 500. Dow Jones down 600. But the funny thing is Apple, Tesla, and Netflix really unchanged. The big stocks unchanged. We're going to hit 98,000 here pretty soon, I bet. That's the 1-hour chart. Let's go back to the minute chart here for fun. Look, we came in, we bounced. We're bouncing right off the weekly low. Not the weekly low, the monthly low. Bouncing right off of it. RSI is down. Just low right now, but not in the major low thing. There's no divergences to, all we have is down here. Here on the RSI in the same period, we have, well, I take that back. I think that this latest, connect these here. Connect those at the same time period. We actually have a little hidden bullish divergence there. So we might have reached the bottom of the daily trading range here. Might be bouncing off this. Be watching this to see if it pumps up and see if we can grab the bottom here and make a trade. What is Mrs. Striking making? So, the perils of working at home is when someone else cooks. The delicious smell of whatever it is. And frankly, it could be reheated dog food. But if you're hungry, yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you can see here, that's not centered very well on my screen here. Let's fix that. You can't really see where I've drawn the line down here. I don't know how to raise that up. Oh, there we go. I got it up. Let me turn this off here. So what I was saying is in the RSI here, in the same time period that the lower lows are happening on Bitcoin, higher lows are happening on the RSI. And when those two happen, it's hidden bullish. It essentially a bullish divergence. And one of the I'm not a wizard at these, but one of the reasons I believe that, let me find my chart again. Where did the chart go? That's weird. Oh, there it is. Is that essentially the no, not that. Tom, come on. Essentially, the RSI has a wedge forming. It's got to break out of the wedge at some point. And if it's down like this, which way does it break? It has more chance of breaking upwards. But that doesn't mean the market doesn't have a lot of downside in it left, or can do anything it wants. Let's see. Let's check. You know what? Let's take a second here to check the news. See if there's anything. Foreclosures jumped 20% in October. That's not good. Saving retirement Congress. Hemp ban raises fears of black market growth. What is this crazy story? The hemp industry is bracing for layoffs, production reductions, and billions in lost revenue. Congress passed the government funding bill late Wednesday, containing a surprise provision that will nearly ban all hemp-derived consumer products. Hemp, a derivative of cannabis, was legalized in the 2018 Farm Bill, like for uses in rope, textiles, and seed. The law's broad definition created a loophole in federal rules on THC. Companies use that opening to flood the market with gummies, drinks, and vapes capable of delivering. Oh my gosh. Well, so for those of you following the cannabis industry in the U.S., you just got screwed. The funding bill in the U.S. contained a reference banning hemp production, which almost all the THC is derived from in the U.S. What are these morons thinking? More than 300,000 jobs are tied to the hemp economy. Nearly all will be lost because there's no exports allowed in this product. It means that only the U.S. is the market, and the Congress just banned their market. That's unbelievable. Let's see, who put it in the bill? After the bill passed, the absence of federalism with patch. Tunnel standards in the hemp law he wanted to curry. Mitch McConnell, the man that can't even speak and freezes when he speaks. Mitch McConnell is the essence of the definition of the word term limits. I'll just come right out and say it. What an asshole. I mean, he can barely speak. He can barely move. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this got sidetracked there. We're watching Bitcoin implode here today. According to the plan, a few days earlier than planned. Now, let's see. They're planning on it happening 5 days from now. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 days from now, starting on the 17th. Starting a little sooner, which is fine. But it's ruining our timing for our end of the month trade, which we were planning the big long at the end of the month. The day started out pretty good for Bitcoin here. We were actually trending upwards. Here, just at 7 in the morning, we were above the 200-period moving average at 103,000. As the market's getting closer to open, they started selling off. At 9:30, when the markets opened, the market makers took it up. Said, "Hey, it's good news." All the people that had buy on the open orders, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, got in the market, made just a couple of ticks, and then they sold off, and it's been dumping all day. And in fact, you can hear it in the screen right now. We're just getting some new lows right now. Let's go over to looking at some tweets about what people have been tweeting about this ban on hemp. It turns out Mitch McConnell took $900,000 from the alcohol industry to ban hemp and THC-related hemp because it's in THC drinks, and a lot of the younger generation are switching to THC drinks. Now, the alcohol companies are, first of all, just retarded. Instead of trying to force people to drink their products, they should just bring out products that people like. How about just buying it? I mean, the alcohol companies have plenty of money. Just buy some of these THC drinks. Do what you normally do and market them. It says hemp isn't controversial because it's dangerous. It's controversial because it's useful, cheap, and impossible to monopolize. Put that on the grade graphics machine here. You know, this isn't really a big topic, and I don't personally use THC at all, but a lot of people do. A lot of older people do. A lot of other people rely on it to help with the effects of other medications and stuff like that. Helps people sleep, all kinds of good stuff, and it's natural too. It's not these factory-created crap. Speaking of Bitcoin tanking. Ugh. All right, ladies, we've only got a few minutes more left in the show here. It's the bottom of the hour. It's 1:30 here Eastern time in the United States and Canada. Bitcoin trading at 98,814, blasting its lows here. Anyway, you're watching the DYOR live show here on the DYOR Media Network. As always, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking. My co-host, Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst, is out today. He's out all week. Yes, we're having fire alarm testing in the building today, so the dog is barking. But anyway, we operate a daily 2-hour talk show about crypto, digital assets, policy, dumb things happen in Washington, which happened again. And then, of course, talk about day trading, especially Bitcoin, the major commodities, foreign exchanges, all the usual things. And look at this sell-off. This sell-off on this chart is amazing. Look at the volume stepping up. It's still stepping up the volume. This is the, was this the minute chart? That's a 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15-minute charts in a row. Negative. And I have white candles here because I just detest red candles. But without a green. And I'm going back. Let's see, I'm all the way into October now. I'm sure I can go a long way and not see 15 in a row without any green at all. Nope, that's essentially back to the beginning of October. Doesn't happen that often. Does not happen that often. But it is right now. But this volume is interesting. This is a sustained amount of volume down. Trading 98.9 right now. Low of 98.934. It's interesting over in the grade graphics machine here. The low doesn't update the 24-hour low as fast as the price. Price is at 98.934. It says 24-hour low 98.7 or 98.973. Let's go back to the minute-long chart here. Still running down here. Looks like there's really it needs that big wick down to really wick out a bunch of the last longs down that order before it starts its march back up. But when's that going to happen? When is it going to happen? For those of you that I've seen tuned in recently, if you haven't been watching what Pedro and I have been talking about, we had a monthly plan here. A few regulars are like, he's going to talk about that again? Good grief. It's starting to alter. What we like to do, have been practicing longer term trades and looking at the entire month. The arrows you see here represents our guess for the month every week. There's 4 trading months this November. Last month, October, was strange with almost 5 full trading weeks. And in November, there's 4 trading weeks. The first week went down. You see the arrow. Let me put the $95,000 graphic up here. First week went down. First week in November goes down, means the last week's going to go up, likely. And then it's got to move up and down in between then. We had the government shutdown going on. Really thought that this week was going to be an up week. With this large drop, now that it's busting through the lows here, changes our outlook. Until it busted through these candles here, I was still hopeful that this would be a turnaround and finish the week on an up, but not likely to happen now. We need a major move up in the next essentially 24 to 28 hours before the close, tomorrow, Friday's close on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And as you can hear, price is going down even further. And it's quickly approaching our goal for next week, which was the $95,000 range. Which I'll extend this down to 95,000. This is crazy. This is the daily chart here. And so while we're getting the pattern right, we're getting the timing wrong. And you need to have both in order to make money. You need to have both. Just keeps going. Let's just make this 1 minute chart massive and see what happens here. Frank Hatcher. Oh yeah, we posted that already. It just keeps going. Let's try and go check the market again here. Market news. Looking at the news on Bitcoin.com. Still no new news for us here. An article saying Grayscale is filing to go public. Interesting. Cypherpunk launches Zcash Treasury. Everybody says they're going to be a treasury, and they don't say how they're going to. It's all a scam. Price continuing down. We're going to hit 97,000 here soon. All right, need some current news here. Let's see. Bitcoin crumbles below 100,000. This is an article from a few minutes ago. Crypto US's trading hour weakness continues as hopes for a new 2025 BTC high fade. No, that's not true. We knew it was going to come down to these prices. We've been literally talking about it for months. Months. months, ladies and gentlemen. Oof. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a time that apparently people have been buying coffee from our ads here. So we're going to take this moment to read a new ad. A new ad about coffee here. Let me get my coffee out here. Anyway, what I'm talking about here is Ram's Horn coffee. Ram's Horn. It is, why is there's always a commercial playing when I'm trying to do my commercial. Anyway, we're Ram's Head Coffee is what we're talking about here. A veteran-owned and operated roast to order coffee company in South Carolina. While there are some great authentic coffee brands out there that we admire and support, there are some that just want your money. You guys got to write this in a different tense here. While there are some great authentic coffee brands out there, some that Ram's Horn admires and supports, there's some that just want your money. That's right. We're tired of the circus of corporate fake conservative brands hawking catchy slogans and silly merch. You want real coffee, not a gimmick. So here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. No games, no fine print. Go to www.ramshorncoffee.com. Use code RAMMED, RAMMED15, and take 15% off your order, plus free shipping anywhere in the lower 48 states. That's it. You buy coffee, we roast it, they roast it, bag it, and ship it. Liberty tastes better at dawn. I gotta tell you, it does. Wake up wild, roast free. We have some slogans too. Maybe we'll make merch, but for now, just clean, delicious coffee. Come up with your own. We've lobbed a softball with this name, Rammed15, at checkout for 15% off and free shipping. ramshorncoffee.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Ram's Horn Coffee has been kind enough to advertise on our channel here. They've put a QR code up on the screen here. Go ahead and take your phone, put your eyeballs on their webpage there. Maybe they can convince you to buy their coffee. Go to ramshorncoffee.com for 15% off and free shipping. Use code RAMMED15. Ever see White Lotus season 3? Ooh. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to ramshorncoffee.com for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. You guys need to have another marketing person read that script and write it in a different tense. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sticking with us during that. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to watch a few more minutes of Bitcoin here. What's going on there? There we go. Before we are off for the day here. Best part is I was drinking tea, actually. 95,000 incoming soon. Let's go back to, let's see if it put in a new 15-minute. Nope. Let's see, we still got 39 seconds here in the 15-minute chart. And it's a big loser. It's a big loser. So we're going to start the new 15-minute candle here. And we'll see if that one's going to be up or down. Before we do that, we'll hit the great comment machine here. Let's look at, let's see if the Twitterverse has anything. It's so hard, you can't search for anything on Bitcoin because the spammers just fill the feeds. Let's see, latest about Bitcoin. Vlad says, Bitcoin under 100,000 is a gift. I agree with you on that. Thank you, Vlad. Watching over on X. Now you can see the next 15-minute candle starting out yucky. Let's see if we can get any idea what the exactly BTC's turning BTC from a static store into an active. What? I love it when you see a tweet and it uses a semicolon, and you're like, "That's obviously a bot." Connor Kenny says, breaking, Bitcoin falls below 99,000. $220 million worth of crypto longs were liquidated in the past 60 minutes. Risk management is key to survival. That's right. Wait for the bottom. Buy. IHAM says, is $87,000. Is this real? We can get there. We can get there. That's the next liquidity level past 95. Got to get to 95, as the Bitcoin graphic here says first. But we're traveling down currently. And one of the most amazing, this is the 15-minute chart. Never seen a 15-minute chart with no green 15 minutes in the day. Let's see what else here. Let's look at some more. It's amazing how many tweets actually pitch that their product is better than Bitcoin. Does anyone believe that in the Twitter sphere and the X sphere? Does anyone say, "Ooh, better than Bitcoin"? I'll go invest all my money in this unknown project. One trader, a guy named Dr. Profit, was exactly right. Sold all his positions. Said it was coming down. Moved everything into stable coins, and people were lambasted him. Said, "Oh," and he did this at like 117, 120. Said, "It's not going any higher than this. It went higher, and then it came back down. It's not going any higher." The thread eviscerating him was massive, and I agreed with him because that's what Pedro and I talk about. We talk about it coming down even further, and I'm waiting for his post. George, thank you for commenting. George says, all going down with Bitcoin except Zcash. Yeah, I know. We looked at Zcash earlier. Let's go to the great graphics machine here. First, let's run BTC one more time here. Coming to the end of the show here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when I do all the talking here, I get tired. My voice gets tired. Usually Pedro he's got that voice for talking all day. All right, let's take a look back at Zcash. Yep. In this massive market sell-off, Zcash is up. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Zcash up 2% today. Never would have seen that coming. Nope, not at all. Let's hit the regular list of cryptos here. See what's moving and grooving. Bitcoin's still on the way down here, now trading, and night's gonna hit 97 here any minute. In our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is the 16th 15-minute chart in a row. Ethereum down 6%. The Bitcoin down 3%. Ethereum down 6%. XRP relatively unchanged. BNB down 3%. Solana down 5.5%. Tron down a little over 1%. Doge down 3%. Cardano down 4%. It's amazing how much more volatile Ethereum is than Bitcoin. Chainlink down 5%. Bitcoin Cash relatively unchanged. Hyperliquid down 4%. Stellar down 4% as well. Like I said, we go back to the regular markets. S&P 500 down 100, NASDAQ down 550, Dow Jones down 600. Apple, though, up a little bit, up 25 cents. Can believe that. Tesla is down 7%. Big volatility in Tesla now. Netflix is relatively unchanged also. Solana down. I didn't see. I must have missed Solana here. This is saying Solana's down 9% over here. Solana's saying down 5%. Which is it, ladies and gentlemen? 145, 145. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue watching here behind the scenes. Bitcoin going down. Heading over as I have the graphic here, right here. 95,000 coming soon. It is, but we should see a turnaround before it hits that. It may wick down there right now. At any moment, we could see the big wick for the V-shaped recovery from this. That's the likely, it's turning over here. It's bending down. 15-minute chart. It's coming down. Something like that has to happen because they're going to run out of sellers here soon. There's going to be plenty of buyers. Plenty of buyers under 100K. Anyway, ladies and germs. Well, as I say that. As I say that, the chart sends a new low down. Let's look at the minute chart once again. Fiat leak must be behind. Yeah, it's always 2 minutes behind or so. Anyway, as I said, let's change up the music. Let's get the outro going here. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That price is correct up there. 98.2, 98.3. Yes, that's the outro music. Playing a little loud. Why? Because it is the outro music. Anyway, I've had a good week so far here. Even without my partner in crime, Pedro. Had some good viewership today. Thanks to everyone that's been watching on Rumble. Thanks to all of you who are watching on Rumble right now. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all of you taking our advice and shared this amongst your trading groups. Brought in some new people today. Really appreciate it. Anyway, we will be back on the air. You might see us here and there on a Rumble Premium special for our Rumble Premium followers only. But other than that, we'll see you tomorrow at the same bat channel, same bat place. As always, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here. So glad to have hosted another episode of this great show called DYOR Live. We'll see you tomorrow.